So, what the hell was the name of that club? Okay, it'll come.
All right. So, at some point, how does the gate come to be built? I mean, at some point, you had to get the job done. How did this happen?
Well, my brother and I had made a bit of money from Cindy O'Cindy, and I had found the Terriers and made money with them. So not a lot of money. I mean, it was ridiculous how little you needed to put together a place, but still, it was an effort. I worked a full year of my life, night and day, for almost 7 days a week, 6 days a week, and that's the origin of my beard. Because what the hell am I going to shave for? I come home at 10 o'clock at night, and I get up in the morning and shave. I mean, it's crazy. So I decided, what the hell? And those were the Castro years that they made fun of me. I said, no way. Bert and I were partners, and Bert put money in, and I put money in, and what happened, we knew a guy, a carpenter named Chris Broders in the village who did work for us. We got him. We found different workmen to work with us, and we worked there continuously. We found this place, this largest.
Okay, so we're finding out how we arrived at Bleecker Street.
Well, how we found. After I had done a number of concerts and I got the halls, I wanted to have my own concert hall, and I decided to look around. Since I was living in Greenwich Village, I had just gotten married. My wife Avital and I lived on 11th Street, West 11th Street, around the corner from the White House Tavern, blah, blah, blah. And so I decided, and Bert and I were part of it, we said, look, let's find our own place, someplace in the village that's large, that we can put concerts on and have food and drink and so forth. We thought of a concept. Initially, to tell the truth, our original corporate name was Village Rathskeller Inc. What we wanted to do is to have a drinking place with piano bar and everything. We weren't even thinking then of doing the things that
more of a neighborhood
where I
place.
came to do it. No, people come from all over. There was a place called on 30th Avenue, Joe King's Rathskeller, that existed for many years, and that was passé already, but we went there as kids and everything, but okay.
So that's a German word that means...
Rathskeller means Keller means a cellar. It's a town cellar and so forth. Rathskeller, okay. So that became the name, but that didn't happen that way. So I looked around. I was looking around for a place in the village. I said, that's the place I've been, that's the place I want to be. Okay? I looked and looked and looked. Finally, a rental agent, Ekdahl, I remember his name, Ekdahl, Ekdahl. He approached me, says, Art, I know of a place on Bleecker Street. I don't know if you like it, but it's the largest bums hotel in the city. Has 1,400 lodging cubicles and so forth. Why don't you go and see if you like it and whether you like to make a contract with him? So I went there. I looked at the space. It was quite large. It had poles in it, but they had an entrance on Thompson Street to go downstairs. In the front, you couldn't come in from the front on Bleecker, but I looked at the whole thing, and finally we made an arrangement for a 21-year lease at $400 a month, which was a large place. We must have had at that point 10,000 square feet, something like that, and which was a lot of space then. But since the place wasn't the place where people liked to go in that neighborhood, it was almost totally undeveloped. West 3rd Street used to have the strip clubs and other things, but on our street we just had shoe stores and luncheonettes and bars and nothing very exciting. No tourists, of course. Not much of a transportation. There wasn't much transportation close by. So we took a gamble, and $400 a month And the lease read no tax or rent escalation, which was unbelievable at whatever our rent was, you know. And we agreed that it would be so much, so many years and so forth. So we went to work at this in 1957, and for a whole year.
So you're telling me that up to 1978, you only paid $400 a month?
No, it changed, and I'll explain. And
Okay.
Downstairs it was.
Downstairs.
Downstairs. Now, what happens in the early 60s, the village is changing and the stores are changing on Bleecker, and we see that the upstairs is available.
Okay, but still continue with when it's starting.
When it started, we used the downstairs, and we put on some acts, and we did things there, and we served some food, and became like a coffee shop with liquor and beer and everything else.
Except that you had to walk below street level.
It was all right. You came downstairs into the basement. It was fine. They didn't care. I mean, I'll tell you how we redid it. We had lots of. It was a commercial laundry before, so we had to take down all the pipes, and we were able to sell them the copper pipes. That was good, and we had to clean up the place and paint it and repair it. And there was a macadam floor, sort of a tile, going back to about 1904. And we just put together the place. We put a stage in, and dressing rooms we had right off the stage. It was very accommodating, you know. Anyway, we saw that our business was blossoming. So when the upstairs became available, there had been a place where the men who would live in the cubicles, they would pay $1 or 75 cents a night. They get a bar of soap and a towel, and they would stay overnight. And it was, when it originally started in 1907, it was for down and out working men. And interestingly enough, the famous writer Dreiser had actually written a thing called Scenes of the City, Sketches of the City, about him spending 2 weeks living in that lodging house sometime in 1914 or something like that. So we had to put in air conditioning downstairs, and got very friendly with a man named Seymour Kabak. And he liked us, and we liked him, and he was making good money. Very brilliant guy, self-taught. He was an engineer, and God knows, he was quite a person. I approached him personally, and I told him about what we wanted to do upstairs, that space that was available, and make a top of the gate. So finally, believe it or not, I was able to get $300,000 then as a loan.
This is 1964 or 5?
No, earlier. No, about 1961 or 2.
Yeah.
So his attorney says, "What are you, crazy? You did this almost on a handshake." Anyway, believe it or not, we paid him back the $300,000 within 3 years. I don't know, unbelievable.
It's really.
I mean, you know, 300,000 would be like $1.5 million today, I swear.
Oh,
I mean, forget
$2 million.
it. We don't know. It's quite a story. And Kabak, I don't know why he did it, but he loved show business. He was a gambler. He was a race car driver. He was something else. He just died recently, by the way, about a year ago.
I still see his trucks go all over.
Yeah, well, it's not him. He sold the company years ago.
Also, there's some very cute pictures of me, you, and Sharon at the top of the gateway. We see all the bricks in the background. It's still being built.
At the top? No, I think that's when we broke through and we had that fight with Evangelista.
Well, we're small though. We're only
you show me.
2 or 3. We're very small.
Yeah, there are pictures of building and the boards and the bricks and everything else.
But I still want to go back to we're building just downstairs.
Okay. No, the downstairs are together. Let me finish. We got the upstairs. It was built, We paid it off. We gave him 10% share, which we bought back later, and then we cemented the whole thing. So we then paid. We first paid $750, and then we paid $1,500 a month,
Yeah.
and then after 21 years, we paid $2,000 a month until 2006.
Yeah.
But with this fantastic lease, which was unbelievable,
Yeah.
the deal, it seemed that this very fine attorney had been a landlord attorney. That's why I took him, and he did not put in a non-disturbance clause. So when the landlord went bankrupt, it said, it's called a subordination clause, we could be evicted because he went bankrupt. And Evangelista,
Through obviously not through any fault of yours, but
no, it was not our fault. So we had no choice. It was black on white. That's exactly the way it was. That's how we lost our lease in 1994.
all right. I don't want to go that far yet, or at all. I want to talk about the first acts that you booked downstairs and the vibe down there, the reaction to it, and the kind of audience.
Well, Carolyn Hester, Judy Henske.
You know, you have to explain who these people are.
Judy Henske's a folk singer. Ellie Stone was a folk singer.
Great, yeah.
Yes. Leon Bibb was also a folk singer on Vanguard Records. Carlos Montoya opened the place with 600 people with no air conditioning.
He was the first.
First artist that played
Yeah.
on the gate. That was a concert for the opening. 600 people got in downstairs.
Oh my gosh! I think I have 3 minutes left on this tape.
Okay. Well,
This is an hour and 20-minute tape.
you know who else we booked? Booked in through somebody? John Cage. John
Oh,
Cage
goodness.
played at the gate with a Bogan system.
That's sound system.
Yeah. Bogan.
Those are good. Yeah.
Of course, it sold out with John Cage there.
What did I want to ask you? You reminded me of something. Shit.
Should I still talk?
Yeah, anything that comes to your mind around that time.
Well, people, folks would just come in, the flamenco dancers.
Oh, I know what I want to
Theo
ask you.
Vickel would come in.
All right, I want to ask you about oysters. Tell me a bit about that.
Well, I'll tell you as soon as this finishes off.
It's going to take a while, right?
Yeah, it'll take a bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't realize that the time went by so fast. I got